Good evening and welcome back to Where the Owls Sleep once again. It's another Sunday sessions and we're back to the original two. It's just me and Stocky for the evening. How's it going, Stocks?
Yeah, not bad. I'm hoping my internet treats me a little bit better this week.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a bit of a struggle if you fade out this week because I'm not sure I can hold it up on my own.
In some ways, I got what I deserved for my West Ham shirt trick
Yeah.
on Samir,
Yeah,
but
the internet gremlins paid you back for that one.
it was good enough just to see that look on his face.
Yeah, you got the initial reaction, so that's the best
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's all I wanted. I
Yeah.
really hope he slagged me off for it when I went there.
To be fair, he didn't mention it again, so
All right, fair enough. He's a
you
better man than me.
got away with that one. You've
He's
had a little weekend off this weekend. How's that been for you?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like a weekend off because I went West Ham on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
God,
no,
do you know what? All right, being in Europe was three of my best footballing years. I loved it. But I was like, oh, what I'd give just to have just 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
yeah,
And I'm still not getting it. We're in nothing and I still don't get 3 o'clock Saturdays.
yeah. It's a weird one. I can't remember the last time we've had like a consistent run of 3 o'clock Saturdays. We get the odd one here and there, but it's very rare where the 3 o'clock Saturdays, and we only had one season in the Champions League.
Speaking about rascal fixtures, how is it this year that both of our away supporters have been stiffed up with our fixture being moved to 8 o'clock on a Monday night?
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Newcastle West Ham on both games, 8 o'clock on a Monday evening this season it's a shambles, really.
Do you know what?
Good for you because we're rubbish on Monday night football. So
Well, you know what? You've been drinking with me and my old man many a time. He ain't no lover for any other teams, really. But he's like, I feel really sorry for Newcastle supporters. Like, the last trains, like, even only just after half time. It's
yeah,
like, it's a disgrace the way football supporters are treated in this country.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Really, it is absolutely stupid. But again, it could be an interesting game. To be fair, you've picked up a bit of form. We seem to be focusing fully on the Carabao Cup final, which, as per our usual cup final attempts, it all goes to shit a few weeks beforehand. So
Well, I'm sure we'll get to today's game a bit later on. So I won't ask too many questions about that yet.
yeah, it runs a bit deeper than just the stupid moment, but yeah, it's not looking good for us at the minute. So a little bit of the hope that I had is fading away, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the next 2 weeks goes. Get to Sunday the 16th and see what we can put out.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into it, I suppose. As we had a brief chat, we might as well start with you. Thursday night over West Ham, 2-0 win against Leicester.
Yeah. Southampton have been bad this season, the results and everything, but that Leicester performance was quite easily the worst I've seen in the Premier League ever.
Yeah.
They were horrendous, mate. I don't know if you caught any of it on TV. I said to my dad, like about 15 minutes in, I was like, I've never seen us keep the ball for so long.
Okay.
And like, there was just zero pressure. They just sat there and did nothing. Oh, that honestly, mate, I've never seen anyone so bad. Like, at no point were West Ham good, really, because you know when you don't have to be good to win a game.
Yeah.
And honestly, they were dreadful. It's a disgrace. I think at half time, I said to my dad, "Do you reckon anyone's ever been sacked at half time in the Premier League? Because this could be it."
I think there has been one. I definitely think there has been one. I
Oh,
can't remember who it was, but there was definitely one. Oh,
like,
no. I think Keegan left. Keegan resigned. Might have even been Man City. Or was it England? No, that might have been England.
That England, like, he was in the toilets after the Germany game. I was going to say, West Ham have run gone in the tunnel. when we got relegated at Wigan. But honestly, Leicester, mate, it was a disgrace how bad they were. And I'm the one that profited.
Yeah,
So, and do you know what? Credit to their supporters, because if I'd paid to come down to watch that on a Monday night, that first half, I would have been very close to walking off.
yeah, fair play. I didn't actually see any of it, to be fair, and it's as much as when I've seen Leicester, they've looked okay at times, and especially going forward.
Mm.
It seems like Ruud van Nistelrooy is in massive trouble there because he's obviously he can't be doing his reputation any good with the results he's got. I'm sure he's got like 2 wins in 12 or something like that.
Well, yeah, and funny enough, one of them was against West Ham at their place, and really that flattered them. I think we just dominated the game, but I think they had 4 shots and scored 3 of them.
No.
And their other one was Dr. Tottenham.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, the truest relegation form. And I'd say, I suppose, looking down there, you see Southampton, and I've always said they try and do some good things, but they're bad in both boxes.
yeah,
Leicester were just dreadful throughout. Yeah, honestly, something else, mate.
fair enough. I think we've still got to play them one more time, which will do us a bit of a favour, to be fair, because we need to buy a win somewhere at the minute. We're not looking good at all. And as as a little segue onto Newcastle, I thought we were quite abject on Wednesday. It should have been a bit of a dress rehearsal for the cup final, but we had no Isak. Joe Linton wasn't there. Obviously, Botman's still not back, and I just thought we were just flat. And the game plan we put out was crap. We went 4-4-2, and Liverpool just did Liverpool. They weren't great, but I've heard a lot of fans this season say, I don't know why they're doing so well. I don't think they're great because I just think Liverpool's top gear is cruise control, and they're so good at controlling the small moments in games. It doesn't actually look like they're playing that well, but they had a couple of players that were just on fire. Like Schloboslai was amazing, and so was Gravenberch.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them pair were fantastic on Wednesday night.
I watched the highlights. Like the only game I watched, the only full 90 minutes I watched midweek was West Ham. But I caught up on all the highlights, and I would add Diaz to that. I thought Diaz looked really good. I've always been a fan of his. And I think they picked him out on Match of the Day as well.
He was lively, but I wouldn't say he was amazing. I'm annoyed by the 2 goals they scored as well, because they were both like just lazy. Do you know when it's just lazy? Like the midfielder's done the run to make sure he's in a good position for if it gets the cut back to the edge of the box. But as the player pulls back 5 yards, they haven't gone with him, and then they've got that little bit of space, and the closing down's lazy, and it's the little sort of half turn your back trying to block a shot thing, and it's just annoying. They didn't like it. Wasn't neither of the goals you'd say are great goal. Like both of them were good finishes, but you can pick so many flaws in the defending that it just annoyed me because we're much better than that.
Can I ask, when did you find out that Isak was missing?
When the lineup,
yeah. Oh, in the lineup, there weren't no rumours out or took a knock on the last game.
No. But he played today, so it's not like he's out. I think he was just in the red zone, and we've put Callum Wilson up front, which is just fucking pointless. Might as well play me or you up front instead of Callum Wilson at the minute. He's just terrible. Yeah, he's got nothing. He doesn't do anything. He hasn't he's played 2 games now. Well, he came on today, and he doesn't do anything well. And I can't understand it. Like his pace seems to have gone. He runs a bit funny now. He missed a great chance against Liverpool. His hold up is rubbish. He just doesn't seem to do anything. And we've got Osula sitting on the bench, who, yeah, he's raw and he's ragged, but he's a handful and he's quick and he's powerful and he's strong. And if he gets a chance, he's going to put his laces through it. I'd much prefer to see him come on over Wilson at the minute.
Yeah, I think the chance we were talking about Wilson, did he sort of beat the offside trap and run in?
Run in and then sort of played it with a side foot, but it weirdly curled the wrong way.
Yeah, it's like he went to place it with his side foot, but he hit the outside of his foot.
Yeah, no,
It's,
he still hit the instep. I think the way he hit it made it curl like he used the outside of his foot. It was
yeah,
weird. He opened up like he was going to bend it for our corner, and if it bent the way it should have
mm,
done with his instep, it
mm,
probably would have gone in. But it went the other way, and it was just
mm.
like, how? What have you done?
I don't know. A kind of you wouldn't. You might not know this feeling when you're a striker and you know you ain't got the legs. You just force this shot so early, and it usually goes so wrong
Yeah,
because you know you're getting caught.
yeah. But my thing was when I was not confident as a striker, I just wouldn't try and be clever.
Mm,
Is take the touch, get it settled, plant your standing foot correctly, and smash your laces through it on target.
mm,
And that was it. There's nothing clever. You don't have to be clever if you're not in form and you're not that confident about it. He had enough time to take one more touch and just smash it. And it's like
hmm
if you're not sure, it's the best thing to do, and it always has been.
Yeah. Funny enough, I can't remember when I saw a finish like it. Uh, there was one this weekend. I think it might have been this weekend or midweek, and the ball's cut across, and the keeper's just smashed it, like literally smashed it as hard as he could
Yeah,
down the keeper's throat, and it went in. Keepers are not used to that anymore. It's not like the old days where people would lever it. They're expecting you to go sort of drill it low.
mm.
Sometimes just smashing it, just early smash, like
Yeah. Isaac had one disallowed
yeah. To be fair, I
today.
called that offside. As soon as I saw it, I went, "He's offside." Just about. I
Yeah,
felt that just looking by eye. But oh, what a finish!
yeah. Again, that frustrated me. I don't know why it frustrated me because it was the correct decision, but it's like you see Man United get through in the last round with a goal that's clearly offside. And
Mm,
the first time they bring in VAR, we have two goals disallowed for VAR during the game. And it's just
mm,
like fucking lucky bastards. It's not frustrating that we didn't get the goals. It's just frustrating that it comes in the round after Man United should have gone out originally. And it's like how
mm,
lucky you got to be.
mm.
So
And
annoying.
speaking of Man United, God, dear, that was some game with Ipswich in the week.
Again, very lucky as well. Down to 10, 2-2 at half time,
Mm.
and bailed out. I can't remember if we got the winner now. I think it was all centre. It was all defenders, wasn't it? All set pieces.
Maguire, yeah, all corners. I think Maguire got the winner. Yeah, Delict got the equaliser. Maguire, the much maligned Maguire, get him out, but he still performs well slightly to what he should be, whereas a lot of players at that club don't.
Yeah, same as Bruno Fernandes. You Man United fans talk about him like he's rubbish and he doesn't. He's not right for the club, but he's like their team. That's their team. He's the one man that doesn't
Mm.
look like he's going to do anything.
I must say, I'm not a person who's in favour of his antics and the way he conducts himself, especially as a captain on the pitch.
Hmm.
But football wise, he's very good.
Yeah, very good player, but he is a rat. I agree,
Yeah.
he is a little rat. But
Um, what did you? All right, I'll go chronological. Um, who are you blaming for that first Ipswich goal? Are you blaming the fullback or the keeper?
I'm trying to think what the goal was now.
So, so the fullback's facing his own goal. The ball's been lobbed over the top, and he's not really looked up. And Anana's come rushing out, and the left back's played it as if to the penalty spot for the keeper. And so essentially, he's just passed it around Onana, and then the striker nipped in to tap it in.
I don't actually think I've seen it, but from what you've said,
I blame Onana myself because he's just
it's
gone wonders.
it's a tough one because like if the keeper, nah, you've got to blame the player that played the pass
Mm,
because for me, unless you're sure that the goalie's there, you need to look. And Ananda's not a goalie that's going to stick in his
mm.
same spot. He's a goalie that comes out, so you've got to have a look before you play the pass.
Yeah, I'm a bit. I feel like you should. Well, end of there should be better communication all round. Do you know what? I'm just sending you a clip of it now, just so you know. Um, yeah, I kind of think um, that whatever's happening, there needs to be better communication between both of them.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, even the worst players can communicate on a football pitch. If you didn't see that goal, does that mean you didn't see the red card incident?
No, I haven't seen the red card incident.
It's not good, mate.
What is it? Bad tackle?
Yeah, he studs. He sort of gets a little touch on the ball, but he meets the geezer in the middle of the shin.
Jesus. No, that's
Like,
you know what? That is the left back.
yeah, you having that
Yeah,
as left back?
now I'm watching it again. That's 100% the left back.
What's that? Never gets his head up.
He doesn't get his head up, and like if you're gonna play the ball back to the goalie, it can't be on target.
Yeah, you
Shouldn't be.
always play. Yeah, you never put it on target. Yeah,
But he's got he doesn't know where anything is. He doesn't know where Philogene is chasing him either. He can turn out. He can just do like a little drag and be out and have acres of space because Philogene's going to keep running. Yeah, so I think that's the left back there.
fair enough.
I
I
think
mean, while we spoke about it, I'm sending you the red card as well.
oh, sweet.
It was a bruiser, mate. But yeah, Man United just doing enough. But it's weird. Even when Man United win,
Oh, that was from the initial full speed.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's replays. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, that's nasty.
yeah, very nasty. Even when Man United win, everything about it feels like a loss, and there's just more pressure being added on that club.
Oh yeah, yeah. When they win, they never seem to win, and you think, oh yeah, they've played well today. It's just such a scummy win. And that's every single win they've had for months, well, since Amarim's come in, has been a scummy win. Like the Man City, 2 late goals of Man City just being mad. It's just like they're just all scummy wins, and that just seems to be what they've turned into. And he's saying some mad things at the minute, by the way.
I'm not one for looking at his press conferences. What's he been saying?
Well, I saw something after the game today that he said something along the lines of the goal is to win the Premier League, so we need to focus on that. It's like, mate, you're 14th. What are you focusing? No, what are you focusing on right now? There's nothing to focus on in the league. What? It was almost like it reads like a "we've got bigger fish to fry" comment, but while talking about the league when they're 14th. If it was Arsenal or Liverpool and the title race was still going, and their manager came out and said it, you'd be like, give you that. But it's just like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Do you think you're still at Sporting? Do you think you're in a race for some other title? What is going on here? I was so confused when I read it.
Their summer could be massive. Like again, though, I've seen a lot of Man United supporters talking about we need a big summer, but the problem is if they want to offload players, they give them such ridiculous contracts that no one wants to pick those players up.
That is the problem. They've probably got money to spend, but once they've spent the money, they need to bring in players that are going to be on relatively low contracts because their wage bill is crazy, and they can only sack a few more dinner ladies before there's none left. So
Don't even get me started on that.
they're in big, big trouble.
Yeah. Oh well, I won't lose any sleep over that. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, mate.
If they turn it around in the summer, I'll be shocked. Very, very shocked.
We're gonna go on to the world's best butlers. Nah,
Yeah,
we're not.
let's do it. Why not? Second, and this season I don't even.
Oh, your voice has disappeared, mate. Can't hear you. What the fuck? Mate, this one's not me. Oh, that was bad timing. So was just about to laugh at Arsenal again. Oh, he's gone for the good old-fashioned reset. Yeah, Arsenal badly suffering from a lack of strikers. And it's not like anyone else didn't see it coming. I must say, we are plagued with gremlins the past couple.
Right, are we back?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go, back in.
Plagued with gremlins.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I didn't touch anything. It just decided to go out just as I was saying Arsenal second.
Yes.
And I can only see them falling further. They might not even get second this year, to be fair.
Oh, what? Who are you saying could pip them to second?
I reckon Man City are going to be on an absolute charge now.
Yeah?
They're starting to turn a corner. As much as they're still not looking at their brilliant best, I think they're going to go on a big charge.
I'll give Man City one thing. They're grinding things out.
They're looking more solid at the back and they're getting more and more players in. De Bruyne is looking a little bit better.
I'd say the other way for him.
No, a bit better since he's come back a few times and looked useless. Yeah. But now he's actually looking slightly better again. So, yeah, I'm slightly swaying towards Arsenal falling a bit further because they've got no front line whatsoever.
It's really mad. While he's getting your sand done, I was like, it's not like anyone didn't see this coming. Do you think they've wasted money in areas they didn't need it?
Well, they've stockpiled defenders, didn't they? And holding midfielders. And they've stockpiled loads of the same player, basically, for no reason. And it just doesn't make any sense when they should have put a big chunk of that money into buying a proper front
man. Yeah. I still think there's a little bit of it when push comes to shove. I think there's a little bit of believing their own hype at that club.
Yeah, and I think that kind of comes through Arteta, to be honest, because I've always had him. He's a very petulant kind of guy, but he's also very arrogant with it. And the way they go on some of their antics about like their set piece coach being front and center all the time and all of that stupid stuff, I think they all really do believe that they are entitled to win something just because they've challenged. And I think the players are starting to believe it as well. And that when the times actually get proper tough, they don't want to know.
Well, I mean, it was brought up a few months ago. You mentioned about the set piece, how great they are at set pieces. But
falling off the cliff, innit?
Yeah. How about you save set pieces for when you need them?
Yeah. Well, as much as they've lauded this set piece coach, I've probably seen 3 or 4 different set pieces that they've done and they do over and over and over again. It's only going to take a couple of months for teams to go, oh, well, there's only 4 of them. We can tell which one of the 4 they're going to run by where everybody's standing. We just need to make sure that we've got someone on the pitch who can gauge what it is and reposition the players. And it's just like everybody's cottoned onto it now.
Yeah.
Like that silly one from the free kick where they all stand offside and run along and then jump back in and then go forward. Like, it hasn't worked in ages. And the big one where they have the two short players that come running into the front post that block the keeper, and if the corner doesn't go deep enough, they flick it on, or it's a big one to Gabriel who's attacking it. Teams have wised up. They've got a blocker on Gabriel. They've got a man in front of the keeper so he can't get blocked off. And it just doesn't work. It's not worked for ages now. But there's no new set pieces. So this set piece coach that was getting lauded all this time ago, now he needs to do his job. He needs to do a bit of work, and he doesn't seem to want to do it.
Well, I must say, like, I didn't watch extensive highlights of the Forest game, but I can speak for the West Ham one. And they had 2 shots on target. One was from Chiarafori from outside the box, and the other one was Trossard. Hit that Areola saved with his feet. So if keeper saves with his feet, it's not like it's a great strike, really.
No.
Ben White went close with one that flashed across. They probably hit the post somewhere. Like, West Ham have not been good this year. They should be able to beat them, striker or not.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You say striker or not. When they bring on Mourinho for, 20 minutes at the end of the Leicester game, and he goes and gets 2 goals. And then all of a sudden, this becomes a viable option to play a holding midfielder as your striker. Like, what on earth is going on for anyone to think that's a viable option? Like, is there no young kids in the academy that have got a bit of movement and that can bury? That's all you need. Bit of movement, bury. Don't worry about everything else. You're up there to put the ball in the net. Simple.
I must say, there was I thought that as well, because West Ham centre halves look so comfortable. And this was another thing, right? West Ham sort of tweaked their system a bit. So essentially, it was a 5-3-2.
Yeah.
Which is a bit counterintuitive, because in this country, you usually go like 4-5-1, don't you, if you're away to a big side. But we went, interestingly, 5-3-2. And then 2 forwards well, they're not forwards, they're wingers, in Bowen and Kudus. They really occupied all of that back 4 all of the time. So they couldn't, because usually when you sit deep, Arsenal are very happy to get everyone forward.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a nice little tweak from Potter. Whereas Mikel Arteta, he just played the same system with the same people doing the same things.
Yeah, but that's all he does. Unless Zinchenko comes on, they're exactly the same team over and over and over again.
That's not the player he was at Man City at all. And obviously there was a lot of people like, blah blah's hiding. Blah, they're not hiding. They're just not playing very well.
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's a lot of people out there, like Arsenal supporters, like, just want to complain and go, like, try and explain there's a reason. It's a mentality thing. They're not trying to hide. They were right on the cusp of having a fantastic season, but again, it's just when push comes to shove. And it's, I do like taking it and taking the piss, because they give it the big one all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they're the second best team in the country, but what's the point of being the best first loser? Just when push comes to shove, you need something more than, beating teams handily in November. That don't win nothing.
No, 100% they don't.
And so it comes to Forest. Like, Forest have had an excellent season, but they've been a little bit patchy recently.
Yeah.
And that's a great draw for them, to be honest.
Yeah. They've, after losing to us, I was hoping they were going to lose to Arsenal as well, because away at Anfield, we were never going to get anything, so it would have kept the gap point at 3, but they've moved it back up to 4 now.
No, again, I know it don't help you personally, but again, I want Forest to do well. I know they've been a bit fruity in the financial side of things, but if they join in, well, everyone else is going to find a way, and they've just done all right.
To be fair, they've been fruity, but they've held their hand up and just took the hit. It was like, okay, yeah, cool, we did it.
Yeah.
It's paying dividends now, so why not?
Yeah. Paying dividends. getting rid of Daishi and bringing in Moisey has worked a treat for Everton.
Oh yeah, it certainly has. It's completely spoiled what looked like the final nail, the final. Well, finally Everton actually going down after years and years of flirting with it.
Mm.
I thought they were going to go, and then Daishi comes in, turns it around, and they've pulled well clear.
Yeah, even with Beto up front.
Yeah, he actually looks like a capable striker at the minute.
Oh, he did in a week.
It's
Missed a few
crazy.
chances.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah. He could have had a hat trick. But yeah, more power to Moyes. I was always been on Moyes in at West Ham. Like maybe it come to a natural end, but I thought he deserved a lot more respect than he got. And do you know what? He's gone to Everton, and they're like, just when a manager comes in, he doesn't have to be the biggest name, but he has something about him. There's an aura,
Yeah, that's because
and at
it's
Everton he's
like
got it.
Moisey's a hero there, isn't he?
Yeah, and do you know what? Good on him. And yeah, they're doing well. And Brentford have had some good results recently.
Hmm. There was
So
one point they were basically unstoppable at home.
yeah, they kept scoring like a goal in the first minute, like
Yeah,
consistently, didn't they?
4 or 5 games on the trot.
Yeah, bit mad. Tottenham, Man City. I've not got much to say about that. Maybe
Nah,
that,
that from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it was the typical game of two halves. Man City came out on fire. Should have been 4 or 5 up half time. Tottenham got back into it, but City just held them at bay till the end.
there's a bit of a contentious handball thing for Haaland. I kept
Yeah,
looking at it, and I can't tell if he handballed it or come off his chest. I kept swaying between the two.
I reckon that'll be something we'll be talking about this time tomorrow evening. To be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, yeah. I won't use up all my good stuff then. My good stuff of I don't really know, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
It was a nice finish though.
Right, Tuesday. There's not really much else interesting on the Wednesday. We've covered most of them. Tuesday, Brighton. They're on a bit of a run. They're making a very, very late charge for a European spot. And they're still missing a few, but their players are just starting to come back as well.
Oh, was this that guy Welbs with that cheeky finish at the end?
Yeah, he's got the winner 2 games in a row now.
Yeah, this was a really nice finish on his left.
Yeah, so was today's one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I caught that on Twitter on my way home. That's yeah, and Bournemouth don't really lose.
No, they don't. Bournemouth have been on fire recently. They've been probably one of the informed teams in the league. I haven't properly looked at the form table, but they've got to be right up there on the form table side of things.
To be honest, so are the team below them in Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah, they're flying right now.
Oof,
Peter Villa, for one, who were just on a little turn of form themselves, is massive.
Yeah. I'm so impressed with Glasner. Like, it's taken me a long time because I've still got the ump when he was managing Frankfurt. But
Yeah.
they're on a tear. Mateta doing great stuff. I think it was Sarr who got 2 goals, or was that FA Cup? But I've watched so much football. I've caught so many highlights in the past couple of days.
I can't remember who got the goals midweek, to be honest.
Let me have a quick check.
Yeah, it was Sarr got 2, Mateta got 1, and Nketiah got 1 as well.
Yeah, that's it. Sarr, two goals on his 27th birthday. Souček got a goal on his birthday on Thursday, and he's the second player to do that twice. I can't remember the other one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Palace are doing really well. Do you reckon they might beat the usual sort of like 14th, 13th spot?
Well, not sure where they're sat at the minute, to be fair, but they must be. They're already above that. They're sat in 12th at the minute.
Okay. good for them. Although I'm sure we'll get onto it as well, but that's a real nasty injury for Mateta. So I really hope that don't affect their. We'll
Yeah,
get into that deeper in the FA Cup bit, but I really don't hope it don't affect their league form too much.
I think it will. I think he's a massive way of how they play. Eddie and Ketty is just not the same kind of player, is he? They haven't got anyone
No,
like that to bring in.
no. I'd always consider maybe putting someone else up front and then having Nketiah coming from wide, sort of thing, like an inside forward. I think
Yeah,
that
he would need
makes.
to play one of them Saar or Eza roles for him
Mm,
driving that team. I think. I don't think he can play at the nine, but I don't think they've got anyone else who can do it. Who else is going to do that role?
yeah. It's a real shame.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Um,
Last two, we've got Wolves that haven't pulled away how I thought they were going to, and Fulham again, another team that are putting in a little run coming towards the end of the season that could put them in contention for European places.
I think it'd be deserved on Fulham's part.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
they beat us twice this season, which is highly annoying when I think about it.
mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is quite the annoying feat it would have once been, but this year they've been a bit better.
Yeah,
I can't remember who got the goals from midweek, but Wolves sometimes can turn things on. So winning there, I don't think you can.
yeah, but then I think Wolves have been so patchy; it's just been crazy, and I think they're lucky that they've picked up so many points recently. Because, well, not so many points, but they picked up a few points recently to make a little gap to the bottom
Mm,
three because Cunha had a mad moment again as well, didn't he?
yeah. Another one we're going. I remember the Fulham ones now. Ryan Sessegnon scored for him.
It was early when it went out at first minute or something like that.
Yeah, first minute, he like scored in 30 seconds. Being back down at Fulham.
Yeah. Did he do the old not celebrate nonsense?
Can't remember. Can't remember. Mate, honestly, this morning I crashed out so much football because
Yeah.
I was wide awake early doors. I was like, I should really watch the midweek stuff. And then I watched the FA Cup stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, goals galore this morning. And obviously another four from Chelsea who are like, I don't know, everything feels a bit nondescript against Southampton.
Yeah, it's that one that it's just a win, isn't it? It's just 3 points. It's not if you're going to win, it's how you're going to win, which is
Mm,
unfortunate for Southampton and not being disrespectful to them, but they are terrible and they're going
yeah,
to go down as one of the worst teams the Premier League's ever seen, unfortunately.
yeah. And I think 4-0 kind of it's a bit of an outlet in Chelsea's recent form because they've really struggled. I think that Southampton's game's come at the perfect time for them because it's been so poor recently.
Yeah, they have been terrible, but it gets definitely gets harder for them because they've got a few difficult games coming up. I know they've got Leicester next, but then after that, I think it gets a little bit sketchy. I think they've got Arsenal and Tottenham, I think, coming up after
Mm,
Leicester. So if they haven't turned their form around and they're just going to be beating the teams that look to be relegated, then I don't think it's going to make much change to where they finish.
their boy wonders really his form's dropped off also.
Oh yeah, massively. But apparently, he's still creating loads of chances. He's created the most big chances in the Premier League this season. It's just people aren't putting them away.
Mm. I'm skeptical on the phrasing for big chances, but
Yeah, yeah, it'll be something above a certain point, something of XG.
oh yeah, your favourite thing, XG.
Yeah, love a bit of XG, me. All right, that covers all the midweekers. Let's roll on to the FA Cup. I haven't got the results up, but this is the draw. We might as well go top to bottom. We've got Fulham Palace. Fulham who have just beat Man United on penalties. Crystal Palace who beat
Beat Millwall
Millwall, wasn't it?
3-1.
Yeah. Uh, we'll start with a Palace game because that was yesterday that had a pretty unique red card that could potentially rule Mateta out for a decent amount of time, depending on what's actually happened to him. But he got stretchered off, which you never want to see, and he
Yeah,
got quite a heavy kick to the face.
yeah. I was reading this morning. He got 25 stitches to his ear.
Jesus.
What was worse? The ref missed it in real time.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't even. I don't even think he didn't give a free kick, did he, or anything?
No, like I heard some people say there was a slight connection with the ball, but he's got his feet in someone's
Yeah.
face. It doesn't matter if he's touched the ball.
You
I
can't
find
kick
that,
someone in the head. I don't care how much of the ball you get.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was baffled, and that was clean. Like he got taken off with a neck brace. Luckily, he was discharged from hospital the same day.
Yeah. I think that
Um,
was more precaution the way he
yeah,
went off. I think it was more that it was a heavy hit. He was
mm,
bleeding, potentially concussed. So
mm,
it looks like should definitely miss next weekend's games because it'll be a concussion thing, and you've got to
yeah,
have a certain amount of days off.
yeah, yeah. And they've got Fulham, who beat Man United on penalties today.
The penalties, and from what I watched of it, it looked like they were camped in Man United's half for quite a big chunk of the first half for sure. I didn't watch loads of the second half, but it looked like they were on top for most of it. Again, I popped onto X a few times while I was doing other bits, and it seemed maybe during extra time or the end of the game, Man United had got a bit of a grip on it. But 1-1 went to pens, and I think it was Lindelof and Xerxes were the two that
Mm,
missed the pen. Fulham clean slate, all four scored.
yeah, good for them. Never famously, and one of them sides that never won the FA Cup.
Yeah, we've got a few of them left in there now, haven't we?
Yeah, have Palace won it? I don't think they have
I don't
they?
think they have. I think Fulham, Palace. I'm going to guess at
Bournemouth haven't.
I'm going to guess at Bournemouth and Brighton.
Nope, they haven't.
Uh, I would say Ipswich probably haven't. I think the only three that maybe, well, Villa and City have, and
Hmm.
Forest will have done. And I would say Preston and maybe.
Yeah. So, well, saying Preston, give Sam's side Burnley a bit of a slapping.
Yeah, they did. I think Burnley made quite a few changes again, though. Like they
Yeah.
did in the last round and still managed to get through. They made a few changes.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for him this time.
Yeah, and there was a bit of needle in that one because
Yeah,
like he's yeah the player
that
that
apparently racially abused him went and scored, and then did
yeah
that to the Burnley fans.
none of the Burnley players shook his hand. He was
Yeah.
just sort of grinning the whole thing. I was like, oh my god.
Well, as we had a player for us at Haylen, Nick Harris, who always used to go, "Oh, we got a team of John Joe Shelby's today." When John Joe Shelby actually plays for your side, you know it's a big step for everybody to not shake the
I'd forgotten about that. Nick Harris, a man who said a lot of things that will never be repeated on this show. That's
Oh
probably
yeah,
like the tamest one we can say.
yeah. There's a few things that
Funny enough, Sam messaged me this afternoon, and he's a bit annoyed because he goes, "That's the most open cup draw there's been for many a year."
yeah.
I don't think it's quite as far as open, but you would have thought you would have a decent shot of getting to Wembley.
But you say it's open. You look at the teams left in it. Fulham, I believe, are eighth or ninth and in decent form. Palace are in decent form. Villa are a decent side. Bournemouth have been flying. Man City and Man City. Brighton are in decent form. Nottingham Forest are sitting third in the table. So
Yeah.
it's not like you get in it and you go, well, there's some weaker Premier League teams in it. They're all, apart from Palace, in the top half of the table.
Mm.
So it's not like you're going to look for an easy draw or anything like that. They're all like top Premier League sides.
Yeah.
They're all chasing European football. Every single one of them.
Fair. 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 Who's next? Villa.
Villa, yeah, Villa got a decent little win. Rashford and Asensio combining twice.
Oh, again.
Yeah, twice again for them to get their 2 goals to kill off. Who did they even play? Cardiff on Friday evening.
Ah, do you know what? I haven't seen the highlights for that one. That's why.
Yeah, Sensio's looking it was good. I thought he was just. I thought he'd come over and be a little bit technical, but not really that involved in the games as much as he should be. But he's scoring goals. And Villa didn't look great, to be fair.
No, well, that do you know what? That's the key to key to being successful in football. If you can be a little bit off collar
Yeah,
and still score and still look decent, because I don't think Asensio and Rashford are exactly starters for him at the minute. So that's a boost.
yeah. Well, it's good. It's showing it is good January transfer business. They both come in on loan. I
Mm,
think they're both options rather than um,
mandatory.
mandatories. Yeah. So if they get them to the end of the season and they keep nicking them points by coming off the bench and getting them goals, fantastic bit of business.
Mm. Again, we've already slagged off Man United a bit, but if Rashford can go and do all the things that he hasn't done in Man United for the past 2 years, it can't all be on him.
Yeah, obviously it can't. It'll be both sides. But looking at how Man United are as a club at the minute, because you've also got who's the guy that spins round and round in circles?
Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah, he's gone to Betis. He's got a few goals. Looking a decent player again. I know
Mm.
people have been saying he's got a couple of man of the matches, but you look at player ratings across the board on various sites, he's never the top rated player on the pitch. So I don't know how he's got man of the match.
We must have the same idiots giving him that we have in this country. Whoever scored gets it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's new to the club. He's scored. Give him man of the match. Mental.
Um, tell you what, outside chat, Bournemouth are a decent punt for the cup. I think. I think on their day they're good for anyone.
They are. They did again. Another team that didn't look great yesterday went through on pens. I think in the end.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, we
oh,
mentioned
they should have been done. They should have been done. Who is it? It was Doherty for Wolves. Had a pen
yeah.
to win it and dragged it wide.
Oh, he proper dragged it.
As soon as he stepped up, I was like, I know you're captain, fella, but take a seat. You're not a penalty taker. You are not a penalty
Mm.
taker. And like I was saying earlier with the Wilson finish, if you're not sure or you're nervous from the pen spot, pick a spot, plant your foot, and smash it.
Funny enough, that's what Lewis Cook did after that miss
Hmm.
because they had to score to stay in it, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's
Um,
what you've got to do. Like if you're unsure from the spot, I had things when I was taking a penalty that I would pick my spot and I'd find it. If I, for some reason, was a little bit unsure or the pitch was boggy, all it was plant your foot well and smash. Get as much on it as possible. It doesn't matter where it goes as long as it's on target. Still, 8, 9 times out of 10 is going in the back of the net.
yeah, yeah. And you alluded to it earlier on. Cunha, he got an absolute ripper of a goal.
Yeah, screamer.
That could be on the titles eventually if we ever bother to change it. But and then he just does all of that. He shoved him in the face, he kicked him, and he tried shoving his head in his face as well.
Yeah, he could have got sent off 3 times. I reckon he should. After what happened, I can't remember who it was
The
against.
guy with the glasses.
Yeah, after that and this now, I reckon he could be looking at something heavy.
Yeah, you'd say that Wolves are lucky that, well, from what I saw, Leicester are toilets, so I doubt they'll catch them. I haven't
Hmm.
really looked at the league table that
I think it's
closely.
4 or 5 points.
That's not, one winning, it gets a bit squeaky, doesn't it?
It's doable. It's doable. Definitely doable.
Um, yeah, so a penalty win for Bournemouth, and they get the joy of Man City at home. I watched their game against Plymouth. Plymouth were very game. Good goal from the corner, but as you kind of expect with Man City, it was just enough. But again, they were scared enough to make changes and bring on the big boys.
Yeah, to bring on Haaland and players like that to see the game out. But Plymouth did kind of what they did to Liverpool. It was a great setup. They were plugging all the gaps, and City had to break them down. They broke quite well as well, Plymouth, to be fair. And in the end, they conceded at a really poor time just before half time, and then they just succumbed to City pressure late on after that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? That goal before half time is the great kick in the balls of football, isn't it?
Yeah, proper sucker punch.
Mm. Yeah, and everything you talk about it feels so cliche, but it's cliche for a reason
Yeah,
because it really does take the wind out of your sails.
100%, 100%. And next game on, Brighton, happened in our game as well. They scored in the 44th minute or something like that, just before half time. After we pretty much dominated the first half, it was their first shot on target and they
Mm.
scored. And it was just like, come on, man. Nice play, good goal, but just
Mm.
silly
Mm.
things.
Mm. They had
Stupid.
some. I thought they had some nice football up until the final third. Then it kind of all went flat for them in the first half.
I thought that was pretty much the same for both sides. I thought we created a little bit more in the first half while having
Mm.
less of the ball. But I didn't think either team were great in the final third. It's just we had Isak, and that was the difference.
Yeah. I saw. So I watched this up until um, about 5 minutes before the end of normal time
Yeah,
because I was away this weekend. So I just sort of had a shower and stuff, getting ready to get my train home, and I was like, "There's been 2 red cards. What's 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 going on? What have I missed?" And then I started making my way back, and I checked my phone, and then Welbeck's come up with a winner. I'm like, I've missed so much. What happened?
mate.
I know Lamptey went. I know Lamptey went for a second booking. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Was it a booking?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. They were lucky not to have been down to 10 earlier. Baleba should have been booked about 4 times.
Mm,
But I don't know how he wasn't sent off in before he got subbed. It's just beyond me how he didn't get sent off. And then Lamptey's was a definite red. Gordon's was a definite straight red. Fucking idiot. Misses the cup final. We're now out. Probably now spoiled both cup runs because of a stupid moment. Like the ref had already given offside. The ball's rolled through. I think it's Van Hecke tugs
yeah,
it in, and he goes to push him. And fair enough, he's gonna like push his shoulder or his back, but Van Hecke ducks and he hits him in the head. And it's just like, why are you reacting? It's already like the game stopped. Don't be a dickhead. There's no need. And this is what I'm saying. The Newcastle random crap starts happening before cup finals. So that's
mm,
happened. It's come out today that Lewis Hall has to go for a scan on his ankle, which is potentially going to rule him out of the cup final. Isak came off not looking great today. Trippier came off not looking great today. And it's just like, what the hell is going wrong? So now Monday night at West Ham is like no more red cards, no more injuries. Just get through the fucking game.
bloody hell.
It's just it happens. It happened last year. Pope got sent off. We got 2 injuries before the cup final. We had
Mm,
to. Dubravka had been on loan and played in the League Cup for Man United, but was back at Newcastle at the time. But so we had to play Lurius because he was cup tired. Like it's just mad stuff that shouldn't be happening. Like how does that happen? You have to play your third choice goalie because your first choice has been sent off, and your second choice has been on loan to the team you're playing and is cup tied for the tournament, but is now back at the club. Like, make it make sense. It's just so random.
yeah, it feels classic Newcastle, that mate.
It does. And it wouldn't surprise me if they come out and say Lewis Hall's out for the rest of the season, which means we've either got to play Livramento left back, and if Trippier's fit, play him right back, or play. Well, we'd have to do that. We can't put Target up against Mo Salah. No way. Not a chance we can do that. So yeah, it's not been a good day at all. I didn't. I thought we was going to go up. I think I even said when we did our predictions that we'd get past Bromley, and if we get a Premier League side, we're going out. But we got Birmingham, and they went through. I think I might have even said on Monday on SpursKingsTV that we were going out. So it wasn't the fact we've gone out; it's just the fact that
What it's cost.
yeah, the news has come out today. Gordon's definitely going to miss the final because there's no way he's going to get it overturned unless they don't deem it violent conduct, which I can't see it happening.
Well, I think someone someone putting, when you just like I subscribe to the Athletics, I get pop ups, and like someone said it was harsh. I watched it back and I went,
It's not harsh. His hand hits his head. He goes to
yeah,
push him, and his hand hits his head.
mm,
Nothing harsh about it. Like,
mm,
I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend because I don't want Gordon to be banned that he could get away with it. You put your hand in someone's head when you're trying to push them, it's a red card. It's simple. Like,
mm,
there's no argument.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm very split on this because I'm gutted for you because mate, the team's in the cup final, but I hate that little ratty shit.
Yeah, he is a little rat, and his little rat has come back to bite us now.
Yeah.
And you know what? Part of me is more frustrated because it now means we're definitely going to play Jacob Murphy in the cup final.
Mm,
Whereas Harvey Barnes started today, and I thought he looked decent, and it was like we might get to the cup final and he sat Barnes and Gordon as a front three, and it's just annoying that it's going to be Jacob Murphy, and he's going to give the ball away 3 or 4 times,
mm,
and Liverpool are going to break them 3 or 4 times and probably score once from that kind of situation, and that's just
mm,
going to piss me off.
mm,
Although it's probably not going to happen because Jacob Murphy started most games this season. We could go back to our Joe Linton, Willock dovetail on the left and play Harvey Barnes on the right because I missed that. I think that was such a fantastic combination.
mm. Yeah, but that also does take away Barnes' special move of cutting in from the left and shooting.
It does, but I think he'll create. I do think he'd create from the right. I really like Harvey Barnes. I really like him, and it's just
Mm.
frustrating. I can't get him in the side more.
Has he been injured or just not favoured?
Not favoured. Jacob Murphy's just putting up too many goals and assists, and Eddie Howe doesn't want to drop him. I just think he's rubbish. I can't stand him. Genuinely, he gives the ball away in such stupid situations that goals and assists are not going to cloud my thoughts on him. I just don't. I can't see.
Mm. Hmm.
Like every time he gets the ball, I think he's going to give it away, and then he does, and then he scores a great goal, and it's like, yeah, great, he scored a goal, but like, in 5 minutes he's going to do something stupid and give it away. Not in a Forest, we won 1-0 down because he did something stupid and gave it away. I reckon he gave the ball away, not trying to create something. 60% of the time he got the ball today. And that's just not acceptable for a side that wants to be near the top of the Premier League. It's just not acceptable. There's so many better wingers. And everybody will go, yeah, but his GA's great. I don't care.
There's more to football than
Yeah,
statistics.
it's so much more to football than goals and assists.
It kind of annoys me. It really annoys me. Like I'd say statistics are good to confirm what your eyes tell you.
Yeah.
They're not the be all and end all.
Yeah,
And
it's a
people
good
hype
backup
them up.
to a solid argument.
Yeah, exactly. Like I one of my favourite bugbearers is, as you well know, and constantly rib me about. I think James Maddison's pretty shit.
Yeah,
But then this season I'd get battered about his goals and assists, and I would say, well, a majority of those come against Southampton this year. So when it matters, what's he doing?
yeah.
Roy Keane said it best. Everyone's like, "Oh, what do you think? He done that? Did you see the clip on the overlap?"
I haven't watched that thingy of it yet. I think I've seen part of the clip, but
Yeah.
because I haven't watched the full episode, I stopped it before I heard the
Ah.
full.
Yeah. Essentially, and this is my point about Maddison. So I love Keno even more. He was like, "Oh yeah, he scored against Man United. I was indoors with a cup of tea. I said, oh yeah, well done, well done." And he went, "I thought he was going to do it in the next game, but he was on the bench against Ipswich." It says it
I
all.
love Pino in ya.
Do you know what? People say he's pantomime and he's just bad, but actually, I just think he plays it. He doesn't buy all this bullshit that all the others do. Like you say, all the goals, assists, this and that. It's like, do your job.
Yeah, he says it how it is.
Hmm.
He's not always right. I'm not going to say he's always right or he's a great pundit, but he says what he's thinking at the time.
Hmm. And do you know
And
what? he doesn't say he's right. He just says what he feels.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of people that complain about him that couldn't hold a candle to him.
yeah, 100%.
Mm. And he's just quite a funny bloke. I'd love to go for a pint with Keeney. Oh,
Keeney and Wright. Couple night out with Keeney and Wright.
yeah. Do you know what? Right, he's sneaking out early.
Oh, you reckon he's dipping off? Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he's dipping off. If us four went out for a beer, righty, like he's all like, "Wait, about 12 o'clock, he's gonna get a bit. Oh, just gonna.
Could do. To be fair.
Oh, that's an episode, mate. Your dream premiere drinking night out.
Hey, that could get wild.
Yeah. Maybe we should make sure we're inebriated for that one when we get it. What do you reckon about tomorrow night's cup tie?
I think it's probably going to be a pretty comfortable Forest win.
Do you not think they'll rotate with their league position in mind?
Nah, because they must be playing Sunday, so they've still got 6 days rest. I don't see the need to rotate. I don't see why they would need. When do they play next weekend? Because we play Monday, so they can't be playing Monday. So, oh wow, they've been done a little bit of a nasty one here.
Why was that?
They're the early game on Saturday.
Oh. So
I know
essentially,
it's still not. I know it's still a decent rest, but you don't want to play. It doesn't really seem fair that you've got a full weekend of FA Cup fixtures and you're the Monday night, and then you've got a full weekend of Premier League fixtures and you're the first game of the weekend on a Saturday morning.
well, that's what happens in the Greed is Good league, mate.
Yeah, and it's Man City, so
Sucks to be them. But you know, right, Man City are not City of the previous 4 years. So really,
they're not. But I think they're closing. I genuinely think they're closing in on it at the minute.
yeah, I do. I think they're just enough. But I've thought that a lot of times about City this year. Like it feels less ominous for the other sides. And do you know what? It'd be good to see someone else win it. I do think City will, most likely.
Yeah,
But no, good luck to them. And do you know what? I hope all of them. I know they're going for like European football, but give it a good go.
yeah,
Come heroes. Come heroes.
yeah. Right. Let's bring up the league table and go through because there's now after the next round of games there will be 10 games left. We did predictions at the midway point. Let's have a little look to see where they're lining up.
Yay! I love being put in my place with my previous poor predictions.
I think it's mainly going to be Samir that gets destroyed for this, and he's not here unfortunately because he's in Portsmouth. But we'll start with the cups because he's had a mare.
Did you say Tottenham were going to win?
No, FA Cup. Both me and you had Man City. Samir went for Chelsea, who are out.
Okay.
So strong start for Samir. Carabao Cup. You've had a mare on this because you went Arsenal. And me and Samir have got the two in the cup final. I've obviously got Newcastle.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
What was I on?
I am not sure. I think at the time we did it, it was before either of the semi-final games had been played. In fact, it might have been. Was it before the quarterfinal as well?
Nah, surely not. I would have. No, I went. I think. Why would I say Arsenal? I don't even like them.
I don't know, but I went back and had a look just to make sure that I hadn't written it down wrong.
All right, fair enough. I'll take that on the chin. I mean.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So it would have definitely been after the Brentford game in December. We did this. This was early Jan, I think we did it.
All right.
That would have been before both of the semi-finals.
Okay. All right then. Okay, I'll have to take that. I don't know why I've said them ahead of Liverpool, but I get what I deserve.
Yeah. We'll work from the bottom up going from there because I've had a good little start there because Newcastle are in the final and Man City are also still in the FA Cup. We can roll on to the next one where I've had a bit of a mare because Everton were part of my relegation team,
Hmm.
whereas you had the three. You was the only one of us that had the three promoted sides going down.
Well, you could say that being a West Ham supporter, I'm very attuned with relegation struggles. So I really know what it takes.
Yeah, but you say that Wolves are 5 points clear of Ipswich and Leicester, and
Mm,
there is still 11 games to go.
yeah.
So it could turn around. Everton definitely aren't going to get relegated because they're like 15 points clear of the drop now.
Oh, yeah, they've been on an absolute tear.
They've had an absolute stormer, yeah. So both me and Samir have had a mare. Yours is still looking good because your three are actually all in the bottom three at the minute. So not bad from there to be fair.
Not
Now
bad.
I will skip the middle bit for now and jump to the top because Samir's bias has completely ruined him here because he went Arsenal to win the league when both of us tried to tell him that it was going to be Liverpool, and it's now very much looking like Liverpool. 13 points clear, game in hand. They've got 10 left. Arsenal have got 11.
I would say essentially it's 67 and a half because they've got like a
So goal,
12 goal difference on
goal,
top, which is essentially half a point. Should it get that
100%.
close?
Yeah, 100%. Arsenal need to go. Like, something mad needs to happen for it not to be Liverpool now.
Hmm.
Right, so this is the interesting part. So the next, well, I'm going to keep Arsenal in the batch. So I'm going to say from Liverpool down, the next seven teams, we all had the same seven teams in varying orders. So it's
Oh,
Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Forest, Villa, Bournemouth are the seven teams that we spoke about to close out the
mhm.
top eight, which then also closes out the predicted European spots.
Right.
So as of now, we'll do it slightly different to what we've done the rest. As of now, who would you pick to finish second in the league?
Right. Uh, I, I'd say I don't see Forest doing a six turnaround, well, seven turnaround
Yeah.
to get Arsenal. And Man City is seven behind. Uh, I think Arsenal would probably just hold on.
Okay. I personally would change mine, and I would say City are going to go and finish second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they're going to go on a charge. I don't think Arsenal have got the legs. I think their legs are gone, and I just think they're going to tumble down a bit now. I think they'll potentially finish third. Actually, no, I think they'll finish third, but I think City will catch them. I think they go on one of them juggernaut runs of like they've got no midweek.
Hmm.
They're still in the FA Cup, but they're always going to be weekend games, and I think they're just going to start win, and just ticking them off.
What do you reckon now that put my teeth back in, now that Guardiola's got them on the park all week?
Yeah, I think now that they're getting players back and they spent a load of money in Jan, I think they will go on a similar title, what they normally do in the title race, where
Hmm.
they go on one of them juggernaut runs. But
Well,
it won't be for the title this time. It'll be for them to finish second.
I just got out the fixtures that, as you said a minute ago, they're away to Forest Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday after, home to Brighton, which could be a bit of a storm in that one.
yeah,
Then they've got the FA Cup away to Bournemouth. Then at home to Leicester. Then
yeah.
away to Man United, home to Palace. That takes you to mid-April.
I reckon they win all of them games.
I'm not being funny. They ain't got it's not too horrendous. Do you want to know the season out?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so after Leicester at home, Man United away, Palace at home, Everton away, Villa at home, Wolves at home, Southampton away, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away.
Yeah, I
If they
reckon
get their
there's,
form,
I reckon there's 1 or 2 games they drop points in there, and I
yeah.
think everything else is a win. Where I reckon Arsenal drop points in 3, 4, 5, maybe.
Well, let's make it fair. We'll give them a good go. I'm usually quick to jump on Arsenal's back, so I should be fairer. Let's go. So, they've still got Champions League interest at the moment.
Yeah,
So the next one's away to PSV
yeah,
midweek, away to Man United. Then they've got the PSV fixture, home to Chelsea, home to Fulham, away to Everton, home to Brentford, away to Ipswich, home to Palace, home to Bournemouth, away to Liverpool, then home to Newcastle, away to Southampton. So
yeah. I look at Cities and I think they drop points into, and I look at Arsenal's and I think there's only 2 or 3 guaranteed wins in there.
do you know what? You just at the moment with the way they're playing and the personnel they have available, there's a couple of games there where they'll have to score more than one.
Yeah,
So like funny enough, like even like I know when you look at the table, Everton are down the bottom, but the way Everton are playing at the minute, like we're gonna have to score more than one to make this sure.
yeah, yeah.
Fulham,
They're in good form, and if you're going to Goodison, like, that's a problem. These are the
yeah,
last 3 or 4, 4 or 5 games that they're ever gonna have at Goodison Park.
yeah, it's gonna be raucous to say the least.
It's gonna be nuts in there. It's not an easy place to go at the end of this season.
And Moyes has got results against Arsenal.
Yeah,
He
it's
certainly
like
did for
the
West
type of
Ham.
way that Arsenal do not like to play against. Pretty
Nah,
sure.
yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, I'm feeling less confident in me saying Arsenal will hold on just about. Actually, the more I think about it, but I've said it, so I've got to live with it. I mean, look, I'm not going to lose either way because they play all right. My predictions right. I'm clever. They carry on bombing. They're going to come third out of a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look. It's a no lose gamble.
Okay. So does that mean you think Man City are going to finish third?
Yeah, I think I said that earlier on, didn't I? Third or fourth?
No, you didn't.
Oh man,
So
I said Chelsea, didn't I?
you certainly did, yeah.
Oh God. Well, to be honest, they're fifth. That's not too horrendous.
Right. So 3, 4, 5. Who would you use to the other 2 teams to close out your top 5 now?
Ooh, you're only 2 points behind Chelsea, 3 points behind City.
Yeah, we're still in a great spot.
This is. Do you know what? You could go down to 10th and say Villa are in the mix.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I said this the other day. Villa on 42 points. Actually, you know what? I would, because Villa have played the extra game.
Oh,
So
okay.
I, I, I would like to say we could go down to Villa, but I would say it's more likely we go down to Fulham.
Oh man, this is tough.
Yeah, this is why I left this bit till last, because I think this is where it is so close. So say we lose our next one and Fulham win their next one, they're above us. But then if Chelsea lose and Man City lose and we win, we're joint on points with Man City again. Like, it's bonkers when you think about it that way. So Fulham in ninth could be above the team that are currently in sixth at the minute, who could go joint fourth with a win. Like, what? And we're in the 27. We're game week 28 next time out. Like, make it make sense. I was
And
For me, I've dropped us down one space, but I'm saying Newcastle fourth.
you got Newcastle fourth.
Yeah.
All right, man, this is so hard because
Tough.
I've really got. I'd say I'm least hot on Fulham,
Okay.
and that's a no. Not not saying they're a poor side, but I've seen a fair bit of Bournemouth and I've seen a bit of Brighton, and I like all their players that play behind the front men.
Yeah.
I think they're so dynamic and quick and lively. Like Matoma is probably one of my favourite players in the Premier at the minute. I
Hmm.
just find him so interesting. The same with is it Semenyo,
Semenyo, yeah.
Semenyo, and Clivert.
Clivert's decent. I really like the Jorginho Ruto as well.
Yeah, do you know what? I didn't really watch him at Leeds because I get fed up because Leeds are always the Champo team that are on.
Yeah.
But he's a good player as well. I ain't a fan of João Pedro, but
He's a
uh,
twat, but he's a good player.
yeah, Welbeck's doing really well. So I just think both of them will have too much attacking wise over Fulham.
Okay.
So it's easier, but
So what you're saying is Fulham will not make Europe.
no, I reckon they will finish ninth
Okay.
or 10th.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
they'll trade it at. Do you know what where you end up is so important on Isaac's groin
Yes. 100%.
because he like all right. Gordon's a big part of the way you play because I don't think he's the most amazing footballer, but his energy and what he brings is so important. Um, but I still think you can accommodate that for the couple of games that he's banned.
Oh
But
yeah, 100%. I have no worries about Harvey Barnes coming in and playing on the
yeah,
left.
exactly. But
My biggest frustration is, like I said earlier, Jacob Murphy still has to play on the right.
yeah, but if Isaac's not there, then every game's up for grabs,
Yeah.
and that's a problem because like it's just well, you put it in stark terms earlier on. Unfortunately, Wilson's not the player to come in and he'll score it next Monday. I think we could
I
both
don't,
agree
think,
on that.
don't even think he will.
Well, he's in bad shape if he can't even score against West Ham.
I'm going to say now, my guarantee for next Monday is an Evan Ferguson goal.
I would totally discount that because he missed a stinker against
Trust me,
Leicester. Yeah.
guarantee.
All right. Well, I hope you're right, mate. Because I'll be going. Yeah. Like I say, where Isaac playing really defines where I put all of them. I'd probably go. I think I said Forest would drop down to fifth previously.
We all had Forest in sixth.
Six, and they've got.
We all had the same top five:
Okay.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle.
All right. Hmm. Mate, this is so difficult because I'm going to be so wrong. I will go. Well, I've said Arsenal second, so I'm going to have to go City third.
Yeah.
I will go. Uh, right, Isaac dependent. I'll go Newcastle, then Forest and Chelsea.
Okay. Forest, Chelsea.
Oh, but then do Bournemouth or Brighton get enough? No, hopefully they'll go for the cup.
Yeah. So we've now got two European spaces left. I'm what? Wait, let me just have a quick look. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna switch Chelsea and Forest, and I'm gonna go Chelsea then Forest. So I've kept Forest in sixth, how I had it previously. So if everything goes how we thought it was going to go, and we get seventh, which would be a Europa,
Hmm.
eighth which would be a
Conference.
Conference League spot. I'm not sure what happens with the cup final because a Liverpool Newcastle cup final potentially means that spot could also roll into the league. But we'll stick with the top eight. I think that's what happens. I think we get an extra spot because it doesn't roll to. So, say Liverpool win it, they're obviously going to finish in a European spot. If we drop out of the European spots, we won't get the spot in Europe because we were runners up in the cup final. It rolls into the. I'm pretty sure it rolls into the league.
Okay.
Because I had a look because I thought, right, that's us qualified for Europe. So I had to check, and from what I read, I'm pretty sure it said we had it.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you know what? You saying about this? I was playing one of my classic Football Manager games a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And I got to a semi-final in one of the cups with West Ham, where
Okay.
they got knocked out, and the two finalists were already qualified. So I had, or no, I think whoever won it went into a higher competition. So I think there was either in UEFA Cup or the Champions League. So I had a playoff with the other semi-finalists to get into the Cup Winners' Cup.
Oh, sick.
It was wicked.
Love that.
Yeah. Wish they did that stuff now. That would make it more interesting.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It would teams would focus on it a lot more. I think.
But credit to these teams doing it in the league though, because like imagine like people have said, oh, is it a lesser quality Premier League? But the fact that we're going down to Aston Villa in 10th, going, oh, I'm just gonna have to push them out.
Yeah.
Like imagine the cut-off to make European football always be in 10th. Usually, well, I don't believe in the myth of the top six. I never did. But it always felt a bit cut and dry. You do well to break into it. But now, imagine going all the way down to 8th getting European football.
Yeah, it's crazy, really.
I remember when West Ham finished 5th and didn't get any.
You know what I think will be telling is if come the end of the season, checking the points tallies against previous seasons, because the people that say that there's been a drop off in quality, if teams are still getting a similar amount of points to get into the same European competitions, then there's not been a drop off really. Just other teams have got better.
That exactly what I'd say, because a few years ago you wouldn't. With the financial dominance of the Premier League, teams like Bournemouth and Brighton can go out, and well, Brighton's a bit different. Like I said, they've posted the 4th best financial records in Premier League history, haven't they, recently? Yeah. But say Bournemouth, like to go and get these players like Cliver and Evan Nielsen and things like this, it's only because of like Premier League money.
Yeah. Good to be fair, it's good scouting and a bit of taking a gamble at the same time. Because like you can see that players are decent, but you're never going to know how it's going to translate to the Premier League. So you've got to take that gamble a little bit as well.
Yeah,
and they were in a position to actually go for the gamble. So, fair play.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel people that say the quality are just kind of bitter.
Yeah.
I'd imagine people saying the quality is not good enough because their team's not as good as it should be. I find it quite interesting. I like teams throwing a spanner in the works. I mean, ultimately, all these teams doing well is at cost to me because West Ham are a lot lower down than I would like.
Yeah.
But if all these other teams are better and are more inventive of how they use their riches, then good luck to them. And it's damning on West Ham, Man United, Tottenham while we're down there.
Yeah.
All these teams deserve to win because they're like good scouting, good systems, a consistent idea of how they want their teams to play, and their appointments of managers and things like that. It's coherent thinking, and for all their sakes, I think they deserve European football, and hopefully the places drop down. Even if I don't know, we wouldn't get as far as 9th, would we? We've already accounted for the coefficient one, haven't we?
If what I was saying about the Carabao Cup is correct, should also apply for the FA Cup. So it could potentially roll down to 10th.
Well,
Because in theory, because if both Newcastle and Liverpool qualify from the league, that spot rolls down, so that's 9th. And then rolling back to this one for a second, say, unless really Palace, Preston go and win it, or Ipswich, it's likely that that spot will also drop down to the league. If Man City go and win it, then it definitely drops down to the league.
wow, could be a bumpy year. Europe
in Europe.
Could be a bumpy year for English teams in Europe then next year.
Yeah, and it'd be crazy for us to then not get the coefficient off the back of that, because having 10 teams in Europe and then not getting the extra space next season would be just mental.
I hope all them teams thank West Ham for becoming champions of Europe.
That was the previous season, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, coefficients are added up over several years, aren't they?
No, that's club coefficients. The way this works is the yearly.
Okay.
So it's how well the team does this year works out who gets the spot for next year, and then it keeps doing that. So it's a year-on-year thing. It's not 3 years.
Okay.
And they only started doing that last season. This season is the first season teams got an extra spot. So last season's competitions counted to it.
Okay. Well, it's nice. It's nice. UEFA doing their best to make sure all the big countries get another club in instead of giving it to someone who could, really benefit from it.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Right, I believe this time we've skirted around it to pin. I can't even think of what I was going to say now.
What, best of the rest?
No, not best of the rest. We've still got 2 teams that currently could qualify for Europe. So we need to name our 7th and 8th.
Oh, right. That's quite difficult.
I was going to say pin our colours to the mast. That's what I was going to say, but it completely went out of my head. So, yeah. So at the minute, we've used up Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Forest and Chelsea in very slightly different orders for the pair of us. So who are you saying out of the next sort of batch of 4 teams are going to nick these last 2 spaces?
Bournemouth and Brighton. I just can't decide who's going to be above who.
Okay.
I think this is weird for me, but like I sound like a broken record, but I really want them to because I find them both cracking sides to watch. Unfortunately, maybe getting European football will really affect their league form next year.
It could do.
But it's so deserved, and like they're both exciting to watch. So fingers crossed. Although, would I begrudge Fulham and Villa? No, not really.
No.
A little bit off tangent, but if Villa don't make European football,
could be catastrophic for them. I think that's why they've gone big in Jan.
Yeah, really, they're gonna have to offload a lot because they're already like
it's going to be a fire sale.
They pay big wages up there, didn't they?
Yeah, I've been saying this for weeks. If they don't make Europe, it's a fire sale at Villa in the summer. They're going to have to get rid of, or they're going to have to take the hit because the new rules that have come in is going to absolutely fuck them. I'm sure they're one of the teams that are miles above the percentage from revenue to wages. I think they're like close to maxed out, closer to maxed out than they are to where they need to be.
Yeah, because I mean, it's hard to think of too many players there that you'd think are on like a lower wage.
Yeah, there's loads of them on big wage because that's how they did it. That was Villa's model. They're going to get in so many players. We'll give them 120, 130, 150 grand a week. And they'd have to keep qualifying for Europe to maintain it. But at the minute, they've played an extra game and they're 10th, and they're going to have to keep winning games.
Dad will chuck all their eggs in an FA Cup shaped basket.
Yeah, they could potentially do that, but then you've also got some very good teams left in it.
Mm.
Like, there's only a few teams. Like, if Liverpool was still in it and Man City was still in it, and they threw all their eggs into that basket, you'd kind of guarantee that one of them was getting to the final, and or both of them will get to
Yeah.
the final unless they play each other.
Mm.
Everybody else has to sort of get luck of the draw to avoid them sides and not get knocked out by one of the other sides that's a very similar quality around it.
Mm. I mean, looking at all the outside the Champions League, everyone's got similar goal difference. I've been Bournemouth.
I lost a lot of that. Your sound went a bit dodgy.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was just looking at the goal difference as well. Bournemouth have got 13, but everyone else is on sort of fives and sixes and everything.
That's why I would put Bournemouth finishing in seventh.
Yeah, it's going to be so tight.
Mm.
Oh, Matt, do you know what? I saw the same complaints you did about, oh, well, titles decided, bottom three are done. But there's so much more to play for in that middle table. It's going to be quite, and you just want to finish as high as you can.
Yeah. There's loads, so much. There's loads to play for. From second down to ninth it's a big little mini league going to go on until the end of the season.
I mean, I've said I don't fancy Fulham to make it, but like they're 4 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah,
I,
crazy. It's crazy when you look at that batch together and you think that some of them teams are going to have to miss out after having fantastic seasons, and you'd actually feel sorry for a few of the sides that never really make Europe at all.
yeah.
You kind of half wish that what we were saying earlier, that the cup, the domestic cup places potentially roll down to the league. So everybody you'd look at, I think they kind of deserve to get it, actually gets it.
Hmm. I mean, I don't really begrudge anyone. Like, it'd be funny if Chelsea just carried on being naff, but I'd say they've got too many decent players to do it.
Yeah,
But everyone else, oh man, yeah.
I'd love Villa to miss out, to be honest, because I've never really had any problem with Villa, but the way they went on when we got relegated there has just pissed me off. So
Really?
yeah, they're fucking morons. They were going on like they won a cup because we got relegated. There was never any rivalry between us and Villa, ever. I actually used to quite like Villa, but yeah, at that point I was just like, no, fuck them. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it all go to shit there.
Well, do you know what? I'd say I don't really care. Do you know what? Another side I don't mind watching play actually, and I quite like Emery, but they've thrown loads of money at it. So if they don't make it and they have to sell, then it's
Yeah,
what happens. That's these are the parameters have been set now, and as much as people will complain about it, it's a rule. It's a rule like handball. It's a rule like a foul.
yeah.
Throw. You got to play by the rules.
That's the game. If you're going to play it, got to play it well.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So you're going. Are you going Bournemouth, Brighton, or Brighton, Bournemouth?
Bournemouth. Bournemouth
Okay.
seventh.
Yeah, I've got the same. So we figured out what we have got wrong and what we haven't got wrong, and we've whittled it down to you're saying, well, Liverpool have won the league, so that's pretty much done. You're going Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Forest, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Brighton for second all the way down to eight. And I'm going Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Bournemouth, Brighton.
Mm. I mean, to be honest, anything's possible. Really,
Yeah.
it really is that tight.
Looking at this from the originals, Samir didn't have Bournemouth in the top eight.
Really?
Yeah. He had Fulham finishing eighth.
Mm.
And none of us had Brighton in the top eight.
No, they've really come on because Hertzler had a rough few months, didn't he?
Yeah.
But credit where credit's due. Do you know what? When teams come out and play good football, I'm more than happy to be.
Sorry, people, clicked the wrong button.
I was thinking, oh, what did I say? Yeah. No, um, what a mad end to the season it could be.
Yeah.
And no one's really stinking their way up to the top.
No one's really what?
Stinking their way up to the top, like playing stodgy football to stay up there.
Oh, okay. I would say Forest are a little bit.
Yeah, but they've been really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, and they still get goals. Like I always said, they'd struggle when Chris would stop scoring. That's a little bit happening, but I hope they hold on. I do.
Hmm. Be
Give it
interesting.
a tough.
It would just be hilarious if they all of a sudden just bombed completely. But I'd actually quite like to see them back in Europe. I like Forest as a club, to be fair. A lot of
Yeah,
tradition there as well.
yeah. And by the way, I'd like to go to the City Ground as an away supporter. That looks well lively.
Yeah.
And Nottingham's a great night out.
Oh yeah, love great night out in Nottingham.
Yeah,
Always had a good night out in Nottingham.
yeah. We'll save those tales for our X-raters.
The late night show.
Yeah,
Right. I think that's pretty much us for the evening, mate.
yeah. As usual, just two of us waffling about football could have gone on even longer if we tried.
Oh yeah, 100%. Easily could have gone on for probably another 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
Could have been many more tangents. But if you want to hear us waffling on about football, we are back tomorrow. Spurs Kings TV, the Monday pitch, VAR stuff, and whatever else Marlon throws at us along the way. If you don't catch us there, we'll be back here next Sunday, 9 o'clock. Same time,
mm,
same place, different subject, but we'll think up something for next week. So for those that have watched, like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. Good night.
see you later.